think it's nice. The Arsenal guys, hey, Kiburi imepanda. These guys are. Have you seen the comments? Yeah.
Yeah, we understand they have been suffering for the few game weeks.
Okay.
So when they start to get momentum, they always have that what we call it kiburi. Yeah, they'll always have it. But we know it's Arsenal.
Okay.
We'll have to wait until the end of the season.
Hello guys, welcome again to another week of the Triple Cup Show. A very nice evening. After very nice games, some of them have already been played, some were not there, not yet played yet. The guessing point is the Champions League were already done. Nice weekend for the EPL also. And then who else joined me on the pod, man? Man like Mike, the Chelsea guy. What's up, G?
I'm good, bro.
Yeah, how have you been, man?
I've been okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't complain.
Yeah, since you left, man, Chelsea, I think you are the reason that Chelsea is where it is right now, you know.
Really?
Yeah, because since you came, Chelsea form it's just going. We haven't seen like what you expect Chelsea to do. Chelsea thinks nowadays it's only winning is the thing to go.
No, it's not. For the last 2 seasons, rivals have been laughing at us. We have been a laughing stock because of the changes we have been facing.
Okay.
So we, for those 2 seasons, I've been telling people just wait until our problems are over, until we've settled. You'll see the results coming in. As Chelsea is a very big club. It's just that for the last few seasons, we've been under a transition from the previous administration to the new administration. So all those changes have been affecting us, even our results on the field. So once the things have been cooling off, we see the results are coming in.
Okay, talking about the results, everything cooling in, and then on the side of the results. But when you come to your Cole guy, Cole Palmer has been the best guy, but for the last 4 game weeks, your guy has been silent. What do you think it's a worrying thing to start with, or it's just football? Sometimes the form is there, but when sometimes things do happen.
No, it's not a worrying thing. Even last season, Palmer was not like scoring in every match. He was scoring some loads of goals, but it was not like he will score every match. He's human. He's not a robot.
Okay.
We expect him to. We also he can score like this game week, and then the next game week he will blank, and it's not like blanking. He will give in those performances, which will be fundamental in our game. You see, like our goal last time, the Jackson goal. And then he's someone who will be in that, even if he doesn't give us a goal or an assist, he is always fundamental in our build-up.
Okay.
So we can't only rely on the goal and assist.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you come to that side, I've seen a thing. Do you think, or let's see, on the weekend, the biggest game, everybody knows it. Man like M.City with Pep. The things which are happening to Pep, man, I don't know. Is it the end of an era, or also Pep should do but I'm worried he cannot do the thing which Klopp did, because Klopp said he's out of energy and then he needs to take the break. That's when he went. But now Klopp, he's out. Pep, I think his energy now has been running out, because talking point, this is the first time since I think 2015, 2016 season. That's when they were beaten 4 games in a row. And then on the weekend, Spurs, we have said before here on the pod, that is a team that always bring trouble to M.City.
Yeah.
And but we never expected on the weekend them being beaten 4. And the casing point of being beaten, it's man like Kovacic. Kovacic not there, Rodri not there, Doku is not there. So guys are saying it's a part of, maybe it's because they do have the injuries, that's why they're not being there. But also, on the other part, it's somebody like a Gavidol, who has been the best now defender for M.City, but he's the one who gave it the balls, making them leak at the back as of now. And then when you come also to on the Champions League, this was the first time I was watching that game. M.City, they were playing. They were already 3-0 up. When I was watching the game, boom, out of the nowhere on the second half, they were already three clean goals near to end the game.
Yeah.
75 minutes, 80th minute, on the 80th minute, 90th minute, at the end of the day, it's 3-3. When you see things with a team like that, how big Man City is and how the results is, and then when you come to the fans kind of a thing, I have like 4-5 well-known supporters of Man City.
Yeah.
But all of them, they were like, is it how Manchester were you guys, Manchester, you are feeling for that all time of the period? I'm like, no, man. It's your time to feel the wrath. And then it's like, is it the form, or is it because they know they have the issues, or it's something big that is just now one piece at a time unveiling in our eyes?
I think what I can say, what's affecting Man City is not totally about footballing issues. You see, they have 115 charges in the court. So when a club has such a magnitude of cases following them, also the players, they are human. They can feel they are mentally not ready for such. You know, they are maybe you can say people are afraid they can lose their jobs, or their contracts can be terminated anyhow. You see, so this thing, if these cases come and go, and if their case, I think it will be deliberated. I think next year, February or what. I don't know when it will be end. So if the case goes away, I think they'll come back to their normal performance. And then they are facing also injuries.
Okay.
This is something deeper.
Okay.
So for a team to compete competitively, like as a Chelsea fan, I can understand what Man City is going through because of the administrative side of the club is facing some issues. You see,
okay,
when a club is settled, everything is smooth from the administration to the football area. If everything is in sync, you will see results coming in, because what a player wants to do is to play in a place he's confident about his future and his present timing. You see.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we can say is that what is happening at Man City is, let's say the cases, and then on top of the cases, the injuries that are affecting their players. So let's give them time. Maybe if the cases have been deliberated, if they are found guilty or they are not found guilty, and then if all their players come back and they are free to play, let's see what they can do. Because
maybe we can have a change.
Yeah, we have been seeing what they can do when everything is okay.
Still on the weekend, when I watched the game against Man City against Spurs, was it a place where Spurs now has given us a chance where we can say like, is a team that is growing, or is a team like something? Because if you watch how the balls were moving from man like Madison to Kulusevski even back the ball to Son, how the ball was playing in between. Was it a place where Man City were weak, or it was a place where a bit, I think Spurs were better on that game than Man City?
In a game of football, you cannot say team was weak or your opponent was better. Everyone is going in the game to win. No one is going there to play weak or to play better. We are all playing to win, and we are all playing at the best of our ability. So, like Man City, at the moment they tried, but that was a very shambolic performance from them. They were totally battered from the front. Even I don't know what was Ederson doing that goal. You conceded so much easy goals that even Ortega will save. Like last season, Ortega was performing very well when Ederson was injured. You see.
Okay.
So, but what I think, Man City, since Rodri got injured, that midfield has been very sloppy. You see, Rodri was offering more than just midfield role. He was like going up and coming back.
Okay.
He was like the fourth or the fifth centre back in that team.
Okay.
He was offering defensive and midfield roles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So moving forward, do you think now Spurs it's a team to watch, or is this just the one kind of a cameo kind of a things which will always happen in football?
Yeah, Spurs, they are a team to watch if they decide to be serious,
Okay.
because like they were beaten in the previous week. They were beaten by Ipswich,
Okay.
and then you see they come next weekend, they are beating Man City. So Spurs sometimes they can surprise even themselves.
Okay.
You can never know what's up with Spurs, because next they are facing Fulham.
Okay.
You'll be surprised when they get battered by Fulham, and
Okay.
then they just beat Man City. So Spurs
Consistency is the
consistently, they lack that consistency to keep them going. You
Okay.
see, yeah.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know, man. I hope maybe it could be a start of something for them to be now to contest like the Spurs we know. But when it comes to cups wise, we know Spurs are not the better team when it comes to cups. But if they are giving us a good game, I think it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Coming to another kind of a good thing, we said here last week, Ipswich is a team to watch, and Manchester United. Everybody was here saying, after Amaran beating Man City with the Sporting, it was a good place also for him to beat Ipswich. And all maybe because after then I think it's Man City, then we'll be playing against them and Arsenal. So guys were saying it's a place where it's a starting point for Manchester United as a team to start and be something better. But on my side, I was like, how Amaran system works, I don't think it favors that much Manchester United kind of a play. Because if you ask us, somebody like Dalot, I've said again and again, he's the most slopiest defender we are having in our team. Casemiro, he's good. But if we find a team which has a speed, which the ball is moved so fast, he's not that good to maintain the ball in the midfield. I think man like Ugarte does it better. Him and Kobe Mino or Eriksson being on the center mid, the two guys, I think it's a better combination than playing somebody like Casemiro and the rest in any of the two. But also when it comes to the front side of a kind of game, man like Anthony, I have said, because of Ahmad, which form he is right now, I don't see anyhow or anywhere where we're gonna fit somebody like an Anthony to play on that game. Garnacho, always he's good, but sometimes he's so selfish with the ball, doesn't want to give the ball, and I don't know if he changes. He's good. Ahmad, I've said he's the perfect person that I think Amaran has been. He should try to unlock that boy, because if you watch last season where he played away, I think that boy had many goals than he had ever had while he played in Manchester United. But also, if you watch on the first goal which Manchester United scored, somebody like an Ahmad played a bigger role for the ball to be there. But also, the other problem which I'm saying, it's somebody like a Rashford. After he scored the first goal, the boy was lost for the whole other game. Yeah. So, and I've said, guys are saying, no, Amaran, it will be like the same thing which we have seen with Ten Hag. Like Amaran is an upgrade of Ten Hag. Win one game, lose one game, draw like that. Because if you check now the stats, you have win 4, lose 4, draw 4. Yeah. And then we have I think 13 points, and on the league we are in number 13. So guys are saying it's like an perfect number for Manchester United. That's the banter online.
The consistent.
But, yeah. But when you check it, I'm like, yo, I don't expect, I was saying to many guys, I don't expect him just to come. If you watch the Manchester United kind of a game, it's 4-2-3-1. You don't expect to move from that system to 3-4-3 and it unlock the first game. We even 1 month it's not possible. 2 months, maybe from 3 months going on. For me, I was like, Amaran, just play the game which you can play right now and move with it. Don't try to change so much. But he came and started with that formation. But keep in mind, most of the players he tried to play that formation with, they were not training with him for that 2 weeks. Most of them were in the international duties. So when he came and then he played that game, I think also he said, my players did not know where to be and they were fearing maybe, and they didn't ever know which place to is. So, and also if you check the team like Spurs, when Angie came to the team, he started with the high line. The guys were beaten before they tried to unlock that, to play that system. So for me, I'm like, don't start to judge him with this first game. Try to give him much more, maybe 1 or 2 more games to play, so that we can know if he's good for that system. You know?
Yeah, sure. Amorim needs time because he's a new manager. He was managing in Portugal and he's in England now. You know, Portuguese league and English league is very different, and he's come to a new league where he has new players. These players have been playing a very different formation from what he has been customized to. So he will need some time to make sure these players know what they want, what he wants them to play like. Like in Sporting, he has been playing 3-4-3. You see, so I think he likes that formation because it gives him results. And at Manchester United, they have been playing a very different formation, which he has a very huge task to make sure these players switch their minds from their previous formation to what he intends them to play like. So we have to give him time, but at the same time, this is like a baptism of fire. He took Manchester United mid-season, whereby they had already been accustomed to a very different formation with a very different manager. So we will have to give him time to see what he can do to change that, what Manchester United have been playing like. So for him to do that, he will need a lot of work to work with these players and to make sure they are trying to get what he intends them to do.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then also it will depend with also the players if they want to change or if they don't want. You see.
Okay.
But they are professional, and I hope they will do what their manager wants them to do, because the previous manager tried and he failed. So, if they say, oh, the new manager is coming in and is bringing in a new tradition, a traditional which they won't, which maybe they won't like, but if you don't like something, then that's your problem. We can't. Manchester United cannot keep on changing managers because of players.
Okay.
They have to work professionally and integrate what their managers want from them.
Do you think now it's a place where we may try maybe to sell some players to fit in the system which he plays? Or he can work with what he has right now?
At the moment, what he has said from his press conferences is like he will try to work with what he has at the moment, but he will need more signings.
Okay.
When it comes to January or in the summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he will still be there in the summer, he will need to have a very tough overhaul. There are so many players who will need to go, and he will bring in some.
Okay. On the other side of the EPL, I watched a game which I think it was the best. A team like Wolves, their last 2 game weeks has been the best game to watch. Man, the likes of Kuna have been playing better. Gomez the same. The whole Wolves team has been unleashed to another team which I've never seen. But also, if you come to the next games for the Wolves kind of team, they have sent the next 5 fixtures, which I think it's very crucial and very nice fixtures if you watch. Because moving forward, I think it's a team to watch, and it's like an underdog, but it's not an underdog with how they are playing, you know.
Yeah.
Do you think we should give more eye to team like Wolves, or maybe it's just a bounce back where maybe we know this thing. Some teams, when they play with big teams, that's when they get the better performance. But when they come to play with the likes of the normal teams, it's the same thing with Bournemouth. When they played against M.City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, it's a great game. But when they came to play with Brentford and the other teams, also last week they played against Everton, and the guys were hold a draw. You know, and then it's like, I don't know, if these teams, which we think small, but when they play, it's a big game. But when it comes to the smaller teams or the teams which are in the same category, it's becoming a hard game for them to play. Do you think that's the same thing we are seeing with Wolves, or it's a team to watch?
No, Wolves is a very impressive team to watch. It's not like it's a small team. I said here earlier that in the APL there is no small team. The team you expect is small. It will shock you very bad. This, you see, like these teams in the relegation zones. Those are the teams you have to be very careful if you are competing for something. You have to be very careful with them, because they are playing for the. I say, like, they are playing for the badge.
Okay.
Yeah, they are not just playing like we are Chelsea or we are Manchester United, we are Arsenal, now we will beat them. No, they are playing because they want to show they are proving their worth to be in the EPL.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think now, like after you have watched, do you think also a team like Ipswich, man, because Ipswich, it has scored in every game they have played, and it's not like they're scoring just simple goals. It's super goals because if you watch the game, Manchester United against Ipswich, the goal which Amari Hudson scored, man, I think it will be a contestant for the goal of the month if I'm not wrong, and also maybe for the season. They are playing so good. It's only that they have not yet clicked in winning goals. Another team is Southampton. It has been, I think this is two teams, Southampton and Ipswich. Leicester in and out, but the most consistent team, which if they play against big teams, it's a hard game to play. Southampton and Ipswich, because if you watch the game Southampton played also, one game I think they won against Everton, and if they played against the game they played against Arsenal also, it was a hard game for them. Against Southampton, Southampton against Man City, they only let Haaland scored only one goal, and that was the end of the game. So do you think those two young teams, the likes Ipswich and what, they are not young as we think, because they have been in the team like Southampton and Leicester has been already on the EPL, so they know what it entails to be on the EPL. So moving forward, there are more to give. Like they have so much to prove when they come to the EPL than the teams which are already in the EPL.
Yeah, they are playing a very nice football. It's just that the results are not coming in. Like Ipswich, you see, they beat Spurs. They came and then they drew with Man U. So they are trying their best. Even if the results are not coming, you can show those bits of play they are showing. Like you see someone like Omari. He's a beast. He tries almost his best to outshine his opponent. He's a very lethal guy on 1v1. You see, he caused a lot of problem when they faced Man U.
Yeah.
So, and also Southampton is a very great team. It's just that their consistency, they have not been consistent this season, I think. It's just their results. They have very hard chances in creating those results. Like the game against Liverpool, they are almost winning that match. If it wasn't for the penalty, I think they were draw.
Yeah.
Until the penalty came, and then it really messed up their game.
Okay.
But on the attacking, they were very fluid in the attack. They caused Liverpool a lot of problems, and that's what they have been doing.
Yeah, because I was out. I was not watching while the game was starting.
Yeah.
I was out but when I opened just the phone, I was like, you guys were like, this is the day which Salah is not going to give us a point. But when I'm opening the game now, like I was watching it, I think the 70th minute. That's when I think I joined to watch the game. Just from nowhere, Salah scored, and after that again he scored another game, and everybody was angry. Like, yo, man, I think what's happening with I think he has proven to be the king. I think I think Salah is who he is. He is what he thinks he is, you know. Because that game, I think he's the one who holds the team.
Yeah. He really helped them, because that game, if it was tough for Liverpool. They were almost losing the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think they can hold on with how they are playing? Because if you watch the Champions League yesterday, everybody knows that Real Madrid is the team. It's hard to beat them. But now also, Real, they are facing the same thing, which maybe Arsenal or a team like Man City, they are facing a bit of injuries here and there. But if you ask me, I think what Ancelotti has unleashed in that Liverpool side, I think it's just a beast in that everybody who's playing there. Because someone like a Bradley has been the best. When what's the name? Trent is out. Maybe guys were saying that wing will be leaky, but Bradley has taken the form and he has been. Come to maybe the other side. Robertson has been bad, but when Simic has come, he clicks in and he has been the best also. Somebody like Gravenberg has been he in the midfield. He has been better than Szoboszlai, but when last season it was Szoboszlai who was good in that wing. McAllister also, he has unleashed, playing better and better and better. Do you think if they move on with the form which there is, somebody like I think Darwin has been there, but also Darwin he's not that good when finishing, but as a contributor to the game, I think he's so good with what he's doing now to that game. Yeah. Do you think now Ancelotti has maybe made something out of the team which we thought, because a new manager will not maybe fit in the new tactics to the team, but maybe Slot has come and unleash and maybe make better from where what's the name? Klopp left. Yeah,
sure. Ancelotti has really improved, and what I can say is that Liverpool, they were lucky to get such a manager who will still fit in their philosophy, a manager will not come in and try to change the whole team. so that he can just fit him. You see, like most managers when they go to a new club, they always try to change everything to fit them. But Ancelotti, when he came, he already studied Liverpool and he already studied how they were playing. This the same players. I think Liverpool didn't make any signings in the summer. They didn't make. They made.
It's a youngster and he has not yet played, yeah.
Yeah, only one signing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has never played since then. So Ancelotti, I think he had time with these players from pre-season, and I think he listened to them. He was guided very well with the people who were there previously, who gave him the role. So I think he just continued with where Klopp had left, and he improved what Klopp had left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think coming to improve where we have left, this weekend, Arsenal were playing a good game where I think the game was hard for them, but when they unleashed it, it became a very good game to them. Also, in that extent, Joshua was the one who was said, not Joshua, many Arsenal fans have said this young boy, Ethan Mwaneri, everybody has said, please give this boy a chance. He has much more to give to the team, according to how Arsenal they are playing right now. On the weekend, Mwaneri came and now he scored a goal. Him being the first now, I think him being the ninth youngest player to score in the EPL. Do you think moving forward, the boy should be given the likes, like how Unai made with the likes of Saka and the rest? Do you think now it's a high time which Arteta should now try to boost this boy morale, giving more minutes, let him play and build him from there? Because if you watch that goal, man, it was a classic goal. Facts be said.
Yeah.
It was a classic goal. It's not like he just scored because he was given a chance. It was a nice carved. And many guys have said Odegaard now he's becoming old. His age is going. And then the boy plays the same role with Odegaard. And now he has started to show. Also, he has the chances to give us the goals. Do you think or do you feel if you are Arteta, it's now after what I've seen this boy can do, come to Champions League, he has a goal already. I think in the Champions League. When he went to the international also on the under game, he played and gave us 5 goals. Now in that game also he came and bang and have another goal. Do you think you feel like he deserves more than what is being given in Arsenal? Or also maybe Arsenal is not the fitting team for him, or maybe other teams out there may eyeing to maybe sign him if they have a chance also?
No, I think he's still young. He's 17. So I think what Arteta is doing and on how he's introducing him, I think it fits him. So that this is a 17-year-old who needs that slow integration into senior football. You see, so for him, like in that role, they are competing with Odegaard, and we know Odegaard has been good when he's fit. You see, like Arsenal, when they didn't have any creativity in that midfield when Odegaard was injured. So when he came in, you see how he's racking up all those numbers. So what Arteta has to do is he has a very big responsibility. The boy is showing he is capable of stepping up to the senior football. So Arteta has a very big responsibility on how he will introduce the boy into senior footballing. So if people they are saying Odegaard is getting old, okay, he's getting old, but he has all the experience they need. So the boy, let's say Arteta give Odegaard 70 minutes, he give the boy 20 minutes, the last 20 minutes each game. The boy will develop very well and will be integrated into the first team very nicely.
Okay.
At the same time, maintaining his senior players.
Okay.
You cannot just put your senior players aside just because of a young academy graduate who is showing potential. He's showing potential. He's not really potential.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the weekend, as we went off with the games of the weekend, Chelsea against, I think you guys were angry with one of your players, man. He just removed a goal from Cole Palmer. Noni Madueke.
Yeah, Noni Madueke. I think it was not intentional, but you see, Noni, when we want to score, Noni Madueke does everything he has to do. I don't know what he always runs through his head sometimes. He holds on to the ball for too long. He can be in so much big acres of space, but he can never cross the ball. He wants to go and score himself.
Okay.
I think he has something. He is a little bit selfish when he has the ball.
Okay.
What we always request him is that try to rack all those crosses into the box. Our opponents will make mistakes in those. When we cross the ball in the box, it will either go to Jackson Palmer or it will land on our opponent, who can fumble the ball, and maybe he can handle the ball with the hand. We get a penalty. He can mishandle our player in the box. We get a penalty. You see.
Okay.
You see, like we like Chrissy James because even if he's a defender, when he overlaps going up front, he will rack crosses in the box. Those crosses are very lethal to our attacking. You see.
Okay.
Noni Madueke, what people hates about him is a lot of dribbles, unnecessary dribbles. And then, of course, on the weekend, we don't say it wasn't intentional to block that. It was very unlucky. He was trying to get out of the way, but unfortunately, it was too late. Unfortunately, the ball caught him.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have been a goal, but it didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you come to the FPL, this season it's a season of fantasy has been a season of surprises. Because if you come to this game, some guys are racking 120 points, 130 points. But when you come to the weekly points, I think this week it was a low scoring week also for many managers, you being one of them.
Yeah.
So game week 12, the average point was 49 points, which was so good for some of us, which we racked, I think, 70 points and above, which were a few of us to say. But man, I don't know. You started so well, and then what happened?
Yeah. I think it's because of some players. We trust some players, but as the game grows, the players start losing their
morale, or
it's not like morale. They start giving blanks. You see.
Okay.
Like I have Haaland.
Okay.
We trusted Haaland from game week 1, but unfortunately he has been not giving us any points.
I think you said here.
Yeah.
The only person whom you can never sell.
Yeah.
It's always Haaland and Palmer.
I cannot sell Haaland and Palmer.
Yeah. But do you think with the form which he is right now, it's worrying for you? And how? Okay, leave alone Haaland himself. Man-City as a team, how it's performing, is that worrying for you?
Yeah, it's very worrying at the moment because even Gvardiol gave me 0 points last weekend.
Okay.
Because I think he had a yellow or what?
Yellow, and they were beaten 4 games, so that's -2. So it's a 0.
Yeah. Okay. Those are the 2 Man-City players I have, Haaland and Gvardiol.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I have to check very well because I cannot continue going blanks every game week.
Okay.
So, but I have a very hard decision to make.
Okay.
Because Haaland is a very expensive asset to acquire. Because you can, let's say, I can sell Haaland now, and then when Man-City comes back, you can't afford him back to your team.
Okay.
That's what really
worries you to remove him?
Yeah, it's scary. It scares a lot of managers, me included. So, but we'll see as the days goes by. We cannot continue to have blanks. We are managers, and we have to capitalize on those points.
Okay, so do you think the same issue which you are facing is the same issue maybe other managers are facing, where they do have those players that they have trusted them a lot that they don't think it's wise enough to let those players go?
Yeah, I'm sure so many managers we have that we are clinging on our most we trust some of these players. Like I said, I trust Palmer and Haaland. So maybe most of us are suffering from that, from our strong-headedness.
Okay.
Yeah, because we don't want to leave these assets. We feel like when we leave them, it will cost us a lot of money if we want them back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I check on the list of where maybe of the players which I think many guys have said, if you want to sell Haaland, the better option to change him, I think also Jackson falls on that category. But also the problem with Jackson, you guys have said, and I've also said, I like him, but the problem with him, it's the yellow cards. And coming to the list of yellow cards, there's some of the better players but the risk of them having the fifth yellow card, it's easy. Topping up all, it's somebody like a Jackson from Chelsea, but also Chelsea do have a nice fixtures. But that's one worrying thing when I come to team like Chelsea. The other person is Liverpool, which they do have nice games also, and the form is nice defensive wise also. But somebody like a Konate also, he's getting the yellow cards, and now also he has his fourth card already also.
Yeah.
The other person, Pedro Neto, also for Chelsea. I think Chelsea is the team which has the most yellow cards this season.
Yeah,
I don't know what's wrong with it.
We've received a lot of yellow cards. Some of them are very silly mistakes we make, and some are somehow we can say it's somehow
Just
harsh.
unlucky, yeah.
Some are unlucky, but some we make very stupid mistakes.
Okay.
Like Sanchez receives very silly yellow cards. Like he is almost being banned from playing. A goalkeeper being receiving more yellow cards.
I think he has three already.
I think it's four.
Okay.
Maybe if
No, the other one was overturned, so he has three.
so, if maybe he has only 2 games he can play before he is suspended for another game. You see.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think also our refereeing, English Premier League refereeing also, they need to be very consistent in some. They are very easy to give fouls and cards. You see. So we need. They really need to improve on how they officiate these matches.
Okay.
Because there are some mistakes. You just have to warn the player. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't necessarily need to pull out your card every time you pull
a foul is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also the other person is Shar from Newcastle, and also Clavet from Bournemouth. Those are also Senesi, but Senesi is a defender, so I don't think many guys will go on that side. But these are the players that I think. These are the players that I wish I could bring them to my team, but. You knowing maybe after one game or the other game, which you expect him to be the player to be on your team, he'll not play because he'll be get a 1 week off, which will not suspension, so which will not be good for you. So do you think is that something that should worry a manager when I have a player who has the risk of getting a card and maybe will miss 1 game or 2 because of the indiscipline cases on the game, or maybe you may say I can take the risk and maybe play that game that player only. Even though I know the risk is there.
Yeah, you see, as a manager, you also have to check on that side, because if you bring in a player who is maybe only 1 yellow card away from suspension, it will cost you also in your transfer. You have to check, or you have to transfer out, or you have to bench him at least for 1 week, or maybe if you bench him on that 1 week, next game week he'll not play because the manager will have changed to another different player.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to check also on that on the level or the amount of yellow cards these players are getting, because it will affect you. It will cost you in your transfer, and also we have only 1 free transfer per week.
Yeah.
So if you have to make more than 1 change, it will cost you also your points.
Yeah, negative point to negative 4 to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. If I watch the games now, I think Chelsea, Newcastle, Wolves are the best teams when it comes to better fixtures. Because if I check the form which Chelsea is and the fixtures which they do play against Aston Villa, Southampton, Tottenham, Brentford, Everton, and Fulham. That's 1 game. When you come also to Newcastle, they do have a fixture like Crystal Palace, except from Liverpool, Brentford, Leicester, Ipswich, and Aston Villa. I think also those one are kind of very good fixtures for them to be. Also Arsenal, they do have West Ham, Manchester United, Fulham, Everton, Crystal Palace, and Ipswich. Also for me, I think is a good, which if I want to bring assets, I think it's a good place to having my asset in. And also to wind it off, I think Wolves, you have said, they do play nice, and the fixtures now, they allow you to have not just 1 player from Wolves, maybe 2 or 3 if you have the chance. Because they are keeping the clean sheet, or maybe being scored 1 goal. Also, so defensive-wise, also they can give us a chance well. Because if you check their form and their fixtures, it's Bournemouth, Everton, West Ham, Ipswich, Leicester, and Manchester United. Which I think it's a good place to invest and double up in those 2 teams. Arsenal are top, and Wolves, but also we have said Chelsea, also the form and the fixture now. I think it's good to invest on those teams,
Yeah, I think for Chelsea, it will be. I think it will be risky because you see, Aston Villa have not won in their last 7 or 6 matches,
Okay.
and they are coming to Stamford Bridge, and we have been very shaky at home. So it's a risky adventure to take Chelsea players at the moment, and we know who Sanchez is. Sanchez always getting. He cannot even keep a clean sheet. You see, but according to our form, we expect to win this match, and then we go to Southampton. Southampton is not an easy game. It has been causing very many problems to other teams. So you have to be very careful when picking also Chelsea, which Chelsea assets you have to pick.
Okay.
So you just don't pick, like the game I thought we will have a clean sheet. Last game week, I was very 100% we are getting a clean sheet, and then Sanchez did what he always do the best.
Losing the ball.
So I can't say, as much as we are on form, these teams we are going to play against also, they are trying to fight for their life,
Okay.
and they can show us some surprises.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have to be careful when choosing Chelsea assets also.
But it has come to many guys, like they are saying, okay, the likes of the likes of Palmer and Jackson, I think they're the best place to be. But when you watch on the weekend, Jackson was nowhere to be. Palmer was nowhere to be. It was Enzo giving the goals. So do you think it's also now like kind of maybe we may think these are the best players we should be getting points from them, and maybe change the thing and maybe bring the new players than the expected guys, which we think everybody feels they're the best players for a team like Chelsea to give us points?
Yeah, Jackson, I think he had a great game on the weekend because he scored, and
Assist.
I think he gave an assist. Yes. So, but Palmer has been, I think, he has been earmarked by our opponents. I think he has had 2 injuries in 2 matches. Like the last match we played against United, he got an injury. He limped off after the game, and then this game against Leicester, also there was instances of where he was being bullied too much. I think most managers they have advised their players to mark him very hardly.
Okay.
So he's not getting those passes he used to get like last season. So that's why you are getting like he's not that much. He's not providing that much in the game, but he's always there in the build up. But assist and goal, he's very limited at the moment.
Do you think that's the same issue which are causing team like Man.City with a person like Haaland?
Yeah, Haaland. Obviously, any manager who is going to face Haaland, he will always instruct his defenders to be very careful with him, to not give him any pocket of space where he can receive the ball and shoot. You see?
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I come to the defensive kind of a team, I think when I've said the team which has do have good fixtures, I think somebody like a Colwill, he has shown us that he can have a chance to play at Chelsea. But the problem is we don't know if Sanchez will be good enough to not to allow him consider the goal. But also somebody like a Hull, he's so cheap for Newcastle on the website. The fixtures for Newcastle, they're so easy, and maybe they can have a chance of keeping a clean sheet. But you cannot forget a team like a Brighton. Van Hickey and maybe Veltman, those I think they are the cheapest players which you can invest from those teams. And they have, if the other game they bought Man.City, this other game, it was a good game from Brighton, but they conceded 1 goal against Bournemouth.
Yeah.
But it was a good game. I thought it could have a clean sheet on my side. And also we cannot forget something like Out-Nouri from Wolves. Last week he never gave guys points, but we know if Out-Nouri he has the chances. 1, he's going to give us an assist.
Yeah.
And 2, there's a chance of them also keeping a clean sheet. But also I've said again and again, there's somebody from Nottingham Forest. Sometimes they may be good, but sometimes if they find, like last week, they found a good team, which they gave them a hard time to maybe keep a clean sheet, team like Arsenal. But we know Nottingham Forest defensive wise, they have been good for the longest part of this season. So do you think moving forward, there's another person maybe I did not mention, but he's a person maybe we can eye. But everybody I know, somebody like a Gabriel or Saliba, looking at the form and the fixtures now. But Gabriel left out with, I think he has 75 knock. We're not sure if he's gonna play. But many guys have said, and also it's known, if you do have Arsenal players, there's a possibility of them giving us a clean sheet. So Saliba and Gabriel, one of them gonna be a good pick for you to be and move on with other players.
Yeah, sure. You can pick either of Gabriel or Saliba because Arsenal, they have been very good defensively. Even in those matches they have been losing or they have been drawing, you can see those instances where their defense has been very fundamental in those matches. So like, and then there is Timber also. Timber is another player who people need to watch because he's been very great in the last 3 games, I think. He has shown who he is. Aside from when he was injured, so people there, we are coming to know what kind of a player he is. You see, like he's allowing Saka to go. Like before, Saka was going and coming back.
Okay.
But at the moment, you see when he's playing with Timber at the back, Saka is allowed a lot of room to go. And that defensive role, Timber will cover it. So Timber is also coming up. He's a very great asset. You can bang on him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Previously, I did say Mazuri was a good asset, but after I watch what now somebody like Amarin he's doing with with Manchester United formation, him having the 2 fullbacks. I think it holds so much. Mazuri cannot move forward because before he moved, there's somebody like an Ahmad on his wing, or if he played the other wing, either like last time it was Garnacho was the other side also, and maybe if there's somebody in front of him, I don't see him giving us the threat. Which because I had Mazuri because of the attacking threat which he has. Him and Dalot, that's the reason why because they used to move forward so much, but now if he's playing like this back 3, before the goal goes to Ahmad or before the goal goes to anybody else, still there's this space where these 2 guys cannot move, the likes of Dalot and Mazrui. So for me, I think it was good for them when we had them, but I think with the formation now Manchester's playing, I don't see them shining like they do used to shine before.
It's just about the formation of the team. If when you see before when Ten Hag he was trying to make sure he was working with Mazrui as a wing back or something like that. So he was allowing these players to have a lot of room. So Mazrui can overlap and he can come back. But at the moment when you see Amorim is trying to limit those, he's trying only to work with 3 defenders.
Okay.
So it will be hard for Mazrui to make those runs he was making.
Okay.
And still come back and cover the back.
Okay.
See, yeah.
So do you think when you come to the midfield, do you think the role which Amaran is bringing to, and we saw what somebody like an Ahmad he was doing, do you think or do you feel now managers may have a chance now to have somebody like an Ahmad as the cheaper option, where we had somebody like a Smith Rowe or somebody like a Brandon Rogers in Aston Villa because of the role which now he has for the game. Keeping point also, don't forget, somebody like a Salah, as what we have seen now, he's a must-have. Palmer, it's only that he has not performed better for the last games, but at least still, I'm saying, he's a must-have player in your team. It's not yet over until it's over, yeah? Salah, we have said confirmed. Saka is another person. The form, the fixtures, and we know. Saka, I think, is still on pen. And also, attacking threat, also, he can do the curves. Free kicks also is on him, and he's a good player also to have. But also don't forget, many guys now think there's the form of Brentford has started to loosen up, but I'm still the guy who is saying still keep hold of Brentford players, whether Wissa or Mbeumo if you have. But for me, I think moving on with Mbeumo, even though he's not giving us points right now, I still feel he still deserves to be on the team also still.
Yeah, Mbeumo is a very he's an asset you should at least keep for some time, because he will always surprise people when you least expected. And you can either have Mbeumo or Wissa. You cannot have both, because there will be you also have to accommodate other players, like you said, Saka, like Salah, Palmer in that midfield. So for me, I can go with Mbuemo at the moment. Since also Haaland is not giving me those points I want. Like Mbuemo can be a cheaper option for me.
Okay.
You see, or either Mbuemo or Wisa can be a cheaper option for the time being before Haaland gets his form.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think is a cheap option for you to be having on that kind of maybe if you don't have somebody like a Smith Rowe or Rogers for now? Because I don't know. I had trusted Rogers for the longest time, but with how Villa is playing, I think I've lost the trust which I had for Rogers for those kind of game weeks which give me points.
Villa is just like Spurs. Their players will perform this game week, and then next game week they'll be lost. You see, that inconsistency will really mess you up because you only have one option to get these players.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the moment, I think Fulham is also a team to watch because it's something. It's a team like it's trying to put up a very great fight, even if they lose, but they will fight to the end.
Okay.
And then we have also like Ipswich. We have Omari.
Okay.
You can get such an asset like Omari. Omari is a great asset you can add to your
team.
Yeah, to your team.
Okay.
And I think is cheaper also.
Okay.
At the moment.
Yeah. So for me, I said before also, if you had a chance, you can go with Jorginho from Brighton. Also, he's a good asset because also he's playing nice also, and he was always giving points, and it's a cheap option to move to him. But also, don't forget, I've said Ahmad also. If Amarin goes on with it and keep him also, he's a good player to have because also we know he can have an assist anytime. If he gets the chances, we know Ahmad. If he has the chances, he's gonna score. If he can't score, he knows when to give a pass. That's the good part with him. He knows when to give the pass and when to score. So if you have the chances, he's gonna score. If you know he's gonna score, maybe a goal will come out of him because of the asset. So I think he's a good asset to keep also. Many guys have said also for the Johnson from Fulham, from Spurs. But Spurs, there's a thing. I don't know if it will be Kulu, because now the last I think 7 game weeks he had started, but now he's starting on the bench. But he came and he scored. So I don't know. But Maddison is a good asset, but the price which he comes, and then we don't know about the minutes. That's the worrying thing when it comes to Maddison and the Spurs players. But I think they're good if you want to risk, but I don't know the minutes. That's what worries me to go to Spurs assets.
Spurs, you cannot rely on them fully.
Yeah.
Because they always change, or they always you'll get like a player will get maybe 45 minutes and is subbed off. You see, if he didn't perform in those 45 minutes, that's a blank for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you went off on the striker kind of a thing, last week I think I was the guy who was waiting to bank many points from somebody like an Isak. Unfortunately, that's the game which they were beaten. They never got a chance to score a goal, which was so bad for me. But I think still, if you do have Isak, keep him. But if you don't have him, I think you can hold him. But also, we cannot forget, last week I said I'm doing a thing which will be... It's not a good thing, but at least it ended up giving me good points. I said I'm selling Haaland, and at least the guys who I sold him to have on my teams, at least they
brought you points.
Yeah, they gave me points. So I think I said I'll go for Kuna because of the world fixtures. And like the 2 game weeks which I did not have him, it was so bad for me to see those points just going. And having Haaland who gives me 2 points, at least I never captain him to give me 4. But also I can see Kuna having points, and he's not giving me. He's cheap. And he's giving me more than what Haaland gives. Yeah, that was 1 point. Also, I've said João Pedro from Brighton. Guys said because he may not play 70 minutes. He not play maybe 45 minutes. It's a worrying thing. But I said for the risk kind of a thing, I think João Pedro for me it's a good option, and still he is on my team. So those are the changes which I did on the weekend, bringing man like Akuna and João on my team, and they at least they give me points. That's the good part of it. So do you think moving forward though? And I had Isak because I did 3 changes, and all of them it was the striking kind of a thing. Sold Jackson, which paid me. I hope I could have kept him because it was Jackson, Raul, and Haaland on my team. So I sold the 3 of them. Now I have man like Kuna, Isak, and João Pedro on my team. And at least the 2 of them gave me points. But Isak had the chances, but at least he never win. But I know when Isak started to give points, it will be consistent. Yeah. So do you think it's maybe it's because we said before in the beginning, Jackson is a good part, but the reason which he can maybe pick card
Yellow card.
in any of these games, it's not a good option to go. Do you think there's also maybe a player outside there? Because Havertz, he's still scoring, but still, I don't know what it's holding me to have not to have him on my team.
Yeah, Havertz, he will have those instances where he will ghost the whole match, or he will score 1 goal or 2, and then the next game week, and then he also ghosts. So he's not that consistent when he's not a player you can bank on him fully. And then you see, like, we are in game week 12, I think 12 or 13.
13,
now.
yeah.
You see, at the moment, so many managers are facing so many problems with their players because there's inconsistency with the players. So here we are just gambling at the moment. We are gambling. There is no way you can rely on only the players you've been relying on, like from game week 1. We have to make a lot of changes, and those changes, they come at a cost also. So at the moment, you see, like last game week, for managers like myself, I had 49 points. So looking at the players I need to change, you'll see it will cost me a lot of minuses.
Okay.
For me to make those changes. And then if I make those changes, come weekend, will I get the points?
Okay.
That's the biggest issues we are facing also.
Yeah.
So we have to be also careful when we are making those changes, because what if you go minus 12 points and then you get 49? How many points are you going to get?
Yeah, it will be bad.
It will be bad for you. You see, like for me, if I decide to make changes at the moment, like I have to change maybe 3 players. Those are like 12 points.
Okay.
So it will be very, very
Hard for you.
hard for me to get those maximum points to be at least average. I'll be always below. Every
Okay.
week, every game week, I have to change. Like, I'll change this game week. I'll take some few players. These players, when they come, they don't perform.
Okay.
I'll have to change again. You see.
Okay.
So when you are changing, you have to be very careful on the players you are getting, so that you cannot go into those negatives every game week.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I made a point to myself. I said, if I bring any player, I'm giving him 3 game weeks before I change him. That I think previously, the beginning of the season, why I was getting bad points was because this week I bring a player, he does not perform, I remove him.
Yeah.
I go another player. This week again, he does not perform, I remove this player to fix this issue. So, and then when I remove a player, that's when he gets the points.
performs,
So for
yeah.
me, I said, if I bring a player, I'm giving him 3 game weeks. If he doesn't give me points with those 3 game weeks, now is the time for him to go. Because within those 3 game weeks, I will accumulate 3 transfers, which is easy for me to change a player
Yeah.
than changing a player game week, game out.
Week, yeah.
And I don't want to go negative.
Yeah,
So
that's negative.
yeah.
Very bad. For
Yeah,
you.
so I think that's the only thing which is helping me now, EPL wise, to get the points. Because maybe this week the player will not perform, but he's still on my team. I accept. Next week, and fortunately enough, that's the week that he gives me the points. So it's been a gamble on my side. That's the reason why I'm going with to move on with the FPL right now on
Yeah.
my kind of assets
Yeah.
for the EPL.
I think that's a very great way to go about it. You have to give them some time so that you can change. You can't just do it every game week, because you'll have very negative points every game week,
Yeah.
and it will affect your overall ranking, and also if you're in a league, you'll also be always dropping downside.
Yeah,
You
because
see?
of the negatives, yeah. So coming to the league, man, for the fantasy, I think I'll give a shout out to man like Zuri. This guy has been the best, but he said he's getting he has trying to drop some points, but he started from the top since we started the game. Till now, I don't know what Zuri, I said today, I don't know what Zuri is using, but the guy, he's still on top, but last week he captained Bruno, which was a good part. At least he's reducing the gap to reach to him. But big shout out to man like Zuri. It's been nice being top, man. I don't know. How long will it take you to be on the top 10? That's the question I asked today. How many months do you need? Or how many games do you think you need to be on the top 10, man?
No, I think he has been lucky last game week, because he got 47 points.
Okay.
And the second guy got 78. You see, I think the second guy used this game week to at least to come closer to him. So Zuri, this game week, he has to be very careful, because he can drop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's I don't know. I'll try. I'm trying to catch up with you guys slowly, but the competition is so stiff. It's so stiff. But at
Yeah,
least
it's
I'm
very
out.
stiff.
I'm out of the second page. That was my one thing that I wanted to do
Now
so
I
hard.
dropped, man. I dropped to the second page, me.
Yeah, man. And then
I was there. I was playing the second and first page.
Okay.
If I go, I go first page, and if I drop, I go to the second. Now I'm almost in the third page, man.
okay.
Yeah,
So for
it's
those guys
getting
who
worse.
so for those guys who I'll put the link to join our mini league. For
Yeah.
those guys who want to join the mini league, so I'll put the code downside so you can join also. And big shout out to all those new guys who are joining still the game. It's not late to start the fantasy, you know. It's not
Yeah,
late
sure.
because we do have the second leg. Also,
Yeah.
will be starting soon.
Yeah.
So it's never late to start. And then when I come to the weekend, there are so many games starting on the Friday evening. Brentford against Southampton. That's the early game, early kickoff. It's an early game, not an early kickoff, Yani. And then there's Brentford against Leicester, Crystal Palace against Newcastle, Nottingham Forest against Ipswich, Wolves against Bournemouth, West Ham against Arsenal, Chelsea against Aston Villa, Manchester United against Everton, Spurs against Fulham, and the best game of the weekend, Liverpool against Man.City at Sunday at 7 o'clock. What do you think of that weekend, man, and that fixture?
Liverpool versus Man.City.
Yeah,
Yeah, these are the top two teams.
yeah,
So we expect some very entertaining football.
really?
Yeah, and some very emotional. It will be an emotion drenching football, whereby also, okay, we can't say like we can't base only on Man City's last form, because this is the league. They are also fighting for the league. So Liverpool should not just relax and say, yeah, these people, they have been losing for the last 5 game weeks.
No, but it's Anfield.
It's Anfield. It's okay, but this is the time for Man City also to try and fight back, because if they lose that second spot,
It's gone.
it will be very hard also to get it, because Arsenal and Chelsea, we are just breathing their neck
On
behind
their neck?
their neck.
Okay.
Yeah. So it has to be. It will be a very big battle. Like also Liverpool. Liverpool, okay, they beat Real yesterday.
Yeah.
They beat Real 2-0. And Southampton, we saw the Southampton game, how they played. It was not an easy game for them. So Liverpool also, they are showing that there are those little bit of sloppiness. If Man City can capitalize on that, they can come up with a point or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which other game that do you think is a good and a must watch for that weekend?
This weekend,
Yeah.
I think we have so many. Let me check. Like this Wolves vs Bournemouth will be also an entertaining game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I want to see what Nottingham Forest gonna do against Ipswich.
Yeah, also that's a very great game.
Okay.
Nottingham and versus Ipswich.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on Sunday we have also the London Derby. Also, you have Spurs versus Fulham, and then we have Manchester United versus Everton. This will be an interesting game also, because Everton also they are fighting for survival.
Okay.
Man U also, they are trying to fight to
Be on
get
the
back
top.
to their form.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be a very entertaining game. Also, Chelsea versus Aston Villa. It will be a great game, because also Aston Villa, they have been losing for their last, I think, 5-6 games.
Yeah, but their form in Champions League, it's I don't know. Champions League, they're so good, but
In the
EPL,
league,
it's not happening.
Yeah, it's not happening. So this one, Unai will try to fight back
Okay.
to make sure that they are on the right track in the league also.
Okay.
And they'll meet Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca, who is on form, who doesn't want also to drop points. So it will be an interesting game to watch also.
Okay. When you watch the fixtures on the weekend, for me, I think the best captain to have, and it's a risk to take. We said João Pedro, but Southampton, man, I don't know. But I feel Brighton gonna have a good game, because they're playing at home.
Yeah.
But it's a 50-50, but I'm trusting João Pedro. Also, Wolves, they'll do play against Bournemouth. Bournemouth have been sloppy, but when they play against big teams, they are good. But when they play small teams, and Wolves, we have this thing, which we said last season, also this season.
Yeah.
When Wolves, they're playing at home, definitely, just know, Kuna will score. I don't know which rule it's written or from where it's written.
Yeah.
It always happens when Kuna plays at home. he always score, and that's also another captain for me. And also Arsenal, they do play against West Ham,
Yeah.
which
This is a London derby also.
yeah,
and
but
it's,
plus
in
West
the-
Ham, therefore, except last week, it's only they won the game.
yeah.
This is the first win they won against. I don't know how many games they played without winning. But the form which Arsenal is, I think Saka is a good place to go as an captain. What do you think? Mboemo, do you think the game Brentford against Leicester? Do you think Mboemo gonna be a captain also? And who do you think also he's out there who gonna be a captain that I haven't mentioned? Or who do you think gonna captain for you for this week?
For I think Cunha, his form, and they are playing at home. I think Cunha can make a very great captain this game week
Okay.
because, he's a very great performer. We've seen what he's been doing for the last game weeks, or maybe, if not Cunha, maybe let's say someone like who can we say? Maybe that's a very hard one because the other teams are playing away. The other better teams are playing away.
You don't trust Saka to have a game against West Ham?
This is at London Stadium, this are London derby. So
Okay.
we never know what will happen in that game
That fixture.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So and the West Ham at home, they are never easy game to play against.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, I think till now I'm stuck between João Pedro or Cunha or Saka. Before tomorrow, I think I'll know which one to invest on as my captain. But I think those are the three competitors because the game against Liverpool against Man City, it's a good game, but I don't know.
Yeah, we never know what the result will be.
Yeah, you're gonna trust maybe Salah, but maybe it's gonna be a hard
he
game
can
for him.
be,
Yeah, maybe we trust Haaland, and maybe he
be-
blanks again. So
sure.
I don't think it's a good because both teams they do have a point to prove.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't want to risk with. If I know Salah is the most he's the Mr. Delivering points, but I don't want to risk to that end. That's the problem when it comes to this game.
Yeah, this is a very tough fixture. You cannot risk on those players because they are trying to prove something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man,
it will be very hard, but I'll go for Cunha. I think I'm stuck with Cunha. And if not Cunha, I'll go with Palmer.
Okay, for me, I've said I'll know before the weekend ends, and then man. So and then guys, please, for those guys who are watching, for those guys liking, sharing, thumbs up for you guys sharing to the guys. It's been nice, man. The subscribers it's coming up slowly. It's coming up nice.
Yeah, that's a great momentum.
Yeah, we are picking. Yeah.
So
So guys, don't forget to when you like, share, subscribe, and share to your friends. Also give a comment, and then it's nice when we see the comments. It's when we know which and where we are going. It's a good momentum to pick from there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, man. Then big thanks to you for joining us today, man.
Yeah, I'm grateful to be here once again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to have some guys, but man, the schedule has not it has
Yeah.
not favored. We tried our best, but it wasn't happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
we wanted to have one guest, but it has become hard, man.
It's become hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So big thanks to all those guys, man like Samba, man like Louis, man like Joshua. I think it's nice. The Arsenal guys, hey Kiburi Mepanda. These guys are. Have you seen the comments? Yeah.
Yeah, we understand they have been suffering for the few game weeks.
Okay.
So when they start to get momentum, they always have that what we call it kiburi. Yeah, they'll always have it. But we know it's Arsenal.
Okay.
We'll have to wait until the end of the season.
Okay, so I think till there, I think it's been nice, man. For those guys liking, sharing, don't forget. Also, our episode in the Spotify, also give a thumbs there. And also, it's been nice, man. Till next week, adios.
Adios.